Maria Oga on your favorite station, CNETv. Yes, it's been a very long time. I miss every one of you. I miss you. Thank you for joining me once again. And today's show promises to be more exciting because I am bringing something different. It's going to be bigger, better, and more spicy. Exactly. We're doing something new, something different from the norm I've been doing for the past how many weeks. So we're going to be doing something different starting today. Yes, I'm going to be giving out, I'm going to be bringing in something special, someone special to the show today, and it's going to be exciting. Now, you know how we do it. It's an interactive show. You can send in your comment, you can send in your question, anything relating to central bank digital currency. We're here for you to answer all of your questions and your inquiries, what you want to know, what your doubts, what you feel about CBDC, exactly what we do on the show. Now, the amazing personality I'm bringing today is the dawn in the ecosystem, is the guru in the financial technology aspect of the ecosystem. That's who he is. He's an expert, he's actually an advisor in the ecosystem, but I would not reveal who he is yet until the show is about to kickstart. Now you can watch on YouTube. You can send in your comments on YouTube. You can also send in your comments on our app. Just download our TV application from your Google Play Store or apps where you can get our app and then send in your comments on it and also on the YouTube channel. Now, before we kickstart the show fully, we're going to go on a very short break. So just get ready, get your book, your pen, every of your writing materials ready to get knowledge because it's going to be a knowledge-filled, exciting program. Please stay with us. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
CNETv, the first and leading 24/7 live broadcasting blockchain, cryptocurrency, and fintech TV application. On our mobile app, you have access to our latest news updates ranging from esports, fintech, iGaming, blockchain, cryptocurrency, and artificial intelligence. We bring to you interviews, analyses, cryptocurrencies, market reviews, and live events. Download our app today from your iOS or Google Play Store or on our website at cnetv.io. CNETv, objectivity is our watchword.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, you're watching CBDC Half Hour with Maria Oga on your favorite station, CNETv. Before we went on a break, I said today is going to be a different edition on the show. We're going to be bringing something different on the show, something more spicy. And I said I'm going to be bringing in a guest today, which is the first time ever on the show where we're going to be having a guest. And I'm so honored to be having this personality here with us today to speak to us on central bank digital currency. Now, the person we're going to be having today, his name is Dr. Oriol Cardevilla. He's a fintech advisor. He's a management and strategy consultant and researcher. And he's also the co-leader of the Central Bank Digital Currency and Financial Inclusion Working Group at a Global Impact FinTech Forum, GIFT. So he's a co-leader at GIFT. That's exactly his position currently. And he's already here with us. So Mr. Oriol, please say hello to the guests.
Hello. Audience. Hi, thank you for having me today. It's my pleasure to be here in your show, trying to share my views on this amazing topic.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for joining us. Okay, so we're going to be looking at basically the trend on CBDC in China. That's basically what we're going to be looking at. That's digital yuan That's what we're going to be looking at today, because we've been saying we want an example of the CBDC. We want a live situation of the CBDC where it's already being implemented. So having you here is going to be an opportunity to enlighten us exactly how the digital yuan is going and how the adoption is actually going. Hello,
sure.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Well, so all right. So there's a report I saw. There's a report I saw that we have over 139 million people in 9 major Chinese cities already having access to digital yuan. Is that correct?
Yes, but to be honest, we are still on a test phase in China. So basically, the digital yuan is not going to be like massively deployed until next year. The idea is to deploy it by the Winter Olympic Games in Beijing in 2022. So right now, it is true that many people in China already have access to the digital yuan, but it is still like as part of this test phase, as they call it.
Yeah, the report also indicated that it's just 10% of the total population that actually been exposed to the digital yuan. So what are your speculations for the digital yuan adoption for the rest of these other cities that have not experienced the test phase? What are your expectations? Do you think they would actually accept it, or it's just going to take a slow ride?
No, I mean, they will accept it for sure. I mean, you know, the People's Bank of China started to do research on this topic in 2014, and this research lasted for 6 years, until 2020. And it was last year in April and May when they decided to move from this research phase to a much more practical test phase. So this is why, I mean, the test started last year in April and May, and we are still on that phase until next year. But it doesn't mean, though, that we are same as 1 year and a half ago, because this test phase has been like gradually adding more people and higher amounts of yuan being tested. So this is why we initially saw digital yuan being tested only in 4 cities, Xiong'an, etc. Now, whereas right now we are seeing the digital yuan tested in many more cities and areas. And well, the idea is to finally deploy it like nationwide next year. And of course, it's going to be widely used within China for several reasons. I mean, first of all, people in China, they are already like very used to making or to using like electronic means of payment. I mean, people in China already use like WeChat Pay, Alipay, these kind of apps like massively. So it's kind of easier to try to promote digital payments in a society where people are not so much reliant on cash. I mean, there are countries, on the other hand, where we still find people like very dependent on the use on cash, but that's not the case in China, and that makes everything easier. And I think the second reason why digital yuan is actually going to be like widely deployed for sure is the fact that we see this this interest in the Chinese government to try to promote the use. So this is why, of course, I mean, it's going to be widely used throughout the country and by pretty much everyone or many people in the near future.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Oreo. When you were talking, you made mention of Alipay and WeChat. So I saw a report on Alipay and WeChat. Digital yuan, that was the headline. The headline read, Digital yuan competing with Alipay and WeChat. Now, do you think this would actually stand as a backlash to the economy to the China economy?
No, it won't.
Like the
because
competition.
No, it won't be any kind of backlash, because digital yuan is not actually there to compete, with WeChat Pay, Alipay, and this kind of payment apps. I mean, I know that initially we didn't know whether the digital yuan was going to be there to compete or not. I mean, there were like many speculations going on whether China was actually trying to compete with those private payment apps. But the thing is that since last March or early April, China, the People's Bank of China, and the regulatory agencies in China, and pretty much everyone, they stated that their goal was precisely to cooperate with those existing apps. So payment that we're going to see, which will be based on the use of digital yuan, will actually, in some cases, be done through those existing payment apps. So, in other words, digital yuan is going to be integrated within those apps as well. So, this is why, well, to a large extent, it's not so much about competition, but about cooperation.
Okay. So digital yuan is actually carrying the whole financial institution along. Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you so much. Now, with lots of enticing approach, like I read of wristwatch, you can actually use the digital yuan through your wristwatches and all of that to actually entice the citizens and those people, the visitors that will be coming for the Winter Olympic. Do you think that will be an avenue for massive adoption of the digital yuan, or it's just going to be slow?
No, I mean, it's going to be widely adopted because of what I said before. No, I mean, because people already use those payment platform apps, those which pay Alipay, and also because there is this interest in the government not to try to promote the use of the digital yuan. So in the case of China, we're going to see a massive use of digital yuan by its citizens. I mean, there is no doubt of that. Yes, I mean, it's clear that this is going to happen because there is an interest from the government and also a tendency from the people to be so digital, no? So that makes things easier. I mean, if we talk, for example, about another country, we were about to talk, I don't know, about, let's say, Europe. Well, I mean, it might be a different story because we might be facing a situation where some people would be using a digital euro and some other people wouldn't. No, it's a different case. But in China, it's going to be massively adopted for sure.
Oh, okay, okay. Dr. Earl, let's divert a bit from the digital yuan. Now, CBDC is actually based on two technology: the token-based and the account-based technology. And the token base is majorly for the government and the banks, and then the account base is for the people. What would you say? Because presently in most countries we already have digital way of making use of fiat currencies. So the account base seems similar with what we have already. So what's actually the account based CBDC and what we have presently?
Mm-hmm. Sure, that's actually a great question. I think it's all about the macro perspective. I mean, it's true that I mean, most of us, we already get like our salaries paid, digitally. We use our digital banking app to do pretty much everything. So it might look at first sight that what we are going to be able to do with a CBDC is not so different from what we are doing now, and it might be so for us. But when it comes to the macro perspective, to what central banks will be doing, it's actually very different, because while real central bank money is actually a key component of the monetary base, the digital payments that we already use nowadays are not central bank money per se. They are just like debits and credits between two different providers, the bank and the payments company. So it is true that from a practical perspective, it might look the same for us. I mean, we're going to log in our digital banking app and then send a transfer.
Yes.
But from the central bank perspective, from the government perspective, it's actually going to be very different, because a CBDC is actually going to be, central bank money per se directly. It's a new kind of central bank money for the first time. The first kind of central bank money that it's not going to be like cash. No,
normal papers and cash.
Yes, okay. Exactly. So
thank you, Dr. Earl. We're going to go on a break now. Then when we come back, we'll continue with questions, and please stay with us. Please, can I have somebody's phone? I was saying. Welcome. If you're just joining us, you're watching CBDC Half Hour on your favorite station, CNETv, and we have a very interesting Dr. Oriol is here with us and he has been talking so much about CBDC, especially in China, the digital yuan, the situation of the digital yuan, and how much it has been adopted. Now, Dr. Oriol, so far, what has been the digital yuan challenges for the citizen as well as the government? So far, what has been the challenges that have been experienced? Because in El Salvador, there are lots of challenges regarding the legal tender, maybe Bitcoin legal tender. So, what has been the challenges that the government, the central bank, and the citizen have experienced since the launch of this CBDC?
Well, I mean, it's a completely different case from El Salvador, for example, no, because in that case, El Salvador, we're talking about a country trying to to use Bitcoin as a legal tender, no. Whereas when it comes to digital yuan, we're talking about not a cryptocurrency, but a CBDC, no, and CBDCs are not cryptocurrencies because they are issued by a central bank, and that makes, of course, everything much easier in the sense that I mean it's the own central bank and government issuing that digital currency. I mean, to be honest, in China there has been like no major challenge so far, mainly because they changed their law, their central bank law last year already to basically to state that the legal tender in China was the yuan, both in its digital and physical version. So legally speaking, they are covered in that sense. And when it comes to practical challenges, where both the research and the tests have been going like very smoothly. I think also because China, due to its to the way it works, has some peculiarities that has been making and will make each adoption easier, such as what I said before, people being so digital, but also this interest in the government for the promotion of this massive use of digital yuan. So I mean, I don't think there have been like many challenges, but of course, I mean, when it comes to CBDCs, there are challenges like everywhere. No? I mean, challenges are when it comes to interoperability, when it comes to privacy. So those challenges will need to be solved, not only in China, but everywhere. I mean, the technology is there, the right technology exists. So it's all about each central bank knowing how to leverage those technologies to make sure that that certain CBDCs actually ensures the user's privacy, etc., etc.
Okay, now I already had a question on the privacy and anonymity. So let me just ask it before moving on to the other questions. Now, how would privacy and anonymity regarding holding transaction in digital yuan be treated? Because on the blockchain, that's the cryptocurrency that we have presently, we experience the joy, the leverage of privacy. But on this CBDC, that will be restricted. So how would it be treated with digital yuan?
Well, I mean, first of all, as you know, CBDCs, they don't need to use blockchain, unlike cryptocurrencies, which are normally based on blockchain. In the case of CBDCs, we're talking about something different. So they might use blockchain. It might be useful for them to do so, but it's not like something that they have to do. When it comes, for example, to digital yuan is going to work on this like two-tier structure through which, in theory, the People's Bank of China is going to issue the digital yuan to the commercial banks without using blockchain. And then the commercial banks on a second level are going to issue the CBDC to the public at large through the use of blockchain. So blockchain is going to be partially used. But going back to the privacy part, well, I mean, it's a challenge, It's a challenge not just for China's central bank, but for each central bank in the world to make sure that privacy is respected. Because one of the good things about CBDCs is precisely that it's going to allow, governments and central banks to fight financial crime more efficiently. And this is, of course, a good thing, but at the same time, those privacy concerns are raised. I mean, the more a central bank is going to be able, to track my movements, the more maybe my privacy may be like harmed or put at stake. So this is why, well, I mean, this is a concern like worldwide. But I mean, I would suggest you, for example, there are some very interesting staff analytical notes published by the Bank of Canada where they precisely analyze this topic of privacy, and basically they conclude by saying something like privacy can be ensured through issuing a CBDC. It's all about making sure, taking that into consideration. The technology is there. There is the right technology. So as long as you leverage the technology correctly, privacy is going to be ensured. So it's all about that, no? But I mean, of course, I understand that there is a concern, and it's not just in, I mean, it's everywhere. It's worldwide. It's a worldwide concern. So that's why, I mean, it's hard to say right now because we are still like on a very like early stage on the CBDC adoption. But I mean, privacy will remain like one of the top like three concerns for a while.
Okay, so Dr. Earl has really dealt on that particular part we're always talking about on the show, the privacy. He said once the right technology is used, privacy will be ensured even with the CBDC. So, China has actually been trying cross-border payments with Hong Kong recently. What has been the challenges with the cross-border payments and cross-border digital currencies?
Well, yes, actually, that's a great question as well, because even though, as you know, CBDCs may serve like different purposes, to me, China's digital yuan main goal is to try to increase the importance of digital yuan in cross-border payments. I mean, I'm not saying that digital yuan was only created for that purpose, but I mean, we need to be honest. I mean, we need to realize that China is already very digital. So I don't think the digital yuan was mostly created to to force people to use these electronic means of payment much more often because they already do. So it's all about, to me, trying to increase the importance of the yuan in as a currency used in international trade. So the thing is, as you said before, China started to test the digital yuan in Hong Kong earlier this year, precisely in order to try to test for the first time digital yuan for cross-border payments. So far, it's been successful. It's been successful, and I think that China is going to try to leverage not just Hong Kong's status, but also, the Belt and Road Initiative, the RCEP Free Trade Agreement, to make the yuan more international. We also saw China signing this February a joint venture with SWIFT in order to try to precisely promote the digital yuan internationally. So I think that's the idea. However, I mean, it's hard to predict what's going to happen because the US dollar is still, and will be for a while, of course, the most widely used currency in international trade. So this is why, even though China may internationalize a bit its digital yuan, it's hard to think that the current situation is going to change like overnight. But still, it's interesting to see China trying to do that. No, I mean, how successful they will be, it's hard to say right now. No, but I mean, I reckon they will succeed to some extent. But well, I mean, it needs to be seen. It takes time.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Earl. Before I ask my last question, in case you have one or two questions, you can send in your questions on our app or on YouTube. But before then, let me just ask my last question to Dr. Earl because our time is fast spent. Now, Dr. Earl, with the rise of CBDC, there has been lots of crackdown on cryptocurrency, especially in China. And we know China used to be the home for Bitcoin mining. How is CBDC going to affect the world in general? How would it actually affect the world when it's finally adopted by the whole world? How would it affect the world?
Well, I mean, as I always say, one of the nicest things about this area of CBDCs is that it's independent, from cryptocurrencies, in the sense that we might be in front of a government which is crypto friendly and at the same time promote CBDCs, or we might be facing a case like China, which, as you said, has been adopting a tough stance towards crypto, but at the same time they are being promoting their own CBDC. So that's the nice thing about CBDC and crypto. So, I mean, we're talking about different realities, so it's perfectly possible for a country to promote both or to promote just one of the two. So, I mean, that's what makes this area so fascinating. In the case of China, as you said, it is true that China is promoting a blockchain very intensely as a technology. There is a clear interest in promoting that technology. China is, of course, promoting digital yuan, but when it comes to cryptocurrencies, well, I mean, the situation has been what it's been. As you said before, there's been a crackdown. The crackdown started in 2017, but it's been intensified this last year through the barriers to crypto mining, etc.
So in China especially, do you think they would actually coexist? That's the cryptocurrency and the digital yuan.
No, no, I don't think it's going to coexist in China. China has made its mind like very clear. No, China has chosen to go just for the digital yuan. China sees cryptocurrencies as a threat, as a systemic risk towards their financial system, as well as a something maybe like too decentralized. So China has chosen this path of promoting ACBC whilst being tough on cryptocurrencies. So I don't see a coexistence in China in the sense that digital yuan is of course going to be massively adopted, but not so much cryptocurrencies. I mean, I may see a coexistence, for example, let's say in Singapore, which is very crypto friendly, and in there, yes, I
Yeah.
can. In China, not so much, no.
Okay. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much. We have one question here, but we can't take it because our time is fast spent. Okay, let's just see if we can. So just answer
Sure.
this very briefly. CBDC that's not on blockchain, how is it going to achieve transparency and trust needed? CBDC that is not on blockchain, how is it going
Yeah.
to achieve transparency and trust needed?
Mm.
Just a very short answer. Thank you so much.
Well, I mean, in the same way that I guess that transactions or electronic payments achieve those nowadays. No, I mean it's not on blockchain, but of course transparency can be ensured nonetheless. No, I mean it's not like blockchain is necessary for a CBDC to be transparent, but of course, as I said before, it might be helpful. I mean, there is, for example, this project from Saudi Arabia and United Arab Emirates called Project Aber, where they analyzed
Yeah.
whether a wholesale CBDC was feasible and also whether blockchain was actually beneficial. And they concluded by saying that using blockchain in that case was actually great. No, so I mean it can be achieved those transparency, etc. Anyway, but of course, I mean blockchain might be beneficial in that sense.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Uriel, for joining us. We would like to have another time with you on this same program.
Sure,
Yeah,
sure.
thank you so much
Thank
for
you very
joining us.
much for having me.
Okay. All right. Have a nice day. Enjoy the rest of the day, Dr. Uriel.
Thank you.
So, my audience and viewers, hope you had lots of fun today. Personally, I enjoyed myself, and Dr. Uriel has actually brought clarity to the fact that in China, particularly, CBDC and cryptocurrency will not be able to coexist because China is already taking a stand that digital yuan is actually the only digital currency it actually wants to use. Meaning cryptocurrency at a point in China would go in to just go away, to just fade away. That's lots of clap down and crack down here and there. Digital currency would definitely fade away in China. That's exactly what Dr. Oreo said. And it was really an amazing time. I learned a whole lot and I got lots of insight in what's happening in China and the digital yuan, even when we're not there, we're in Lagos, Nigeria. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Thank you, Dr. Oreo, for making out time to spend with us on the show. By 2 p.m. West African time, we're going to be having Crypto Daily, which is about 30 minutes from now. So just stay tuned. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. I am Maria Oga. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye for now.
CNETv, the first and leading 24/7 live broadcasting blockchain, cryptocurrency, and FinTech TV application. On our mobile app, you have access to our latest news updates ranging from esports, fintech, iGaming, blockchain, cryptocurrency, and artificial intelligence. We bring to you interviews, analyses, cryptocurrencies, market reviews, and live events. Download our app today from your iOS or Google Play Store or on our website at CNETv.io. CNETv, objectivity is our watchword.